Ready?
Yes, I've been sitting here for weeks.
As if. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Twink Twank Twunk. I am your co-host, Zach. I am blonde, I am beautiful, and I am blue-eyed. And most importantly, I am bombastic.
And my name is DIVOS. I am your favorite piece of walking, talking visual art. I have my gloves on that make my fingers look really tiny today. I am blue, bombastic, and gluttonous, which is gluttonous with
Gluttonous?
a B. Yeah.
What? Gluttonous?
Because gluttonous makes me bloated, so I'm gluttonous.
Oh, so I actually like that. That's good. Gluttonous. Bludgeoning and gluttonous.
We're so excited to be here today in what I like to call the off season. Do you agree with this?
The off season?
July, August, September. Off season.
Off season?
Off season.
I'm not
saying I'm saying like of work. It's a
yeah,
it's a time to relax.
A time to relax, time to have fun. Pride month is over. It is almost Pride month, but
it is happy almost Pride month.
Happy almost Pride. I have never had a bad July and August. Like never had a bad one. It's impossible.
It always goes by too fast.
It does always go by too fast. Like 4th of July is amazing. Actually, I was like, August goes by really. What happens in August?
I have no idea what
No
happens.
clue.
In August.
Yeah. No
I
clue
have
at
to check
all.
my Instagram every time. I'm like, I don't know what happened in August.
In August? I couldn't tell you what happened in August of last year.
Well,
No, that stuff happened. I think Outside Lands was in August.
it's always fun stuff that you're like, oh, those are great pictures, good
Yeah.
memories, but it's nothing of like, I accomplished this at work goal, or like I changed my life in August. I don't think it's my time to change my life. It's my off season.
Yeah, August can just be August.
August is just August.
It's just
Let
August.
August be August.
It's just August. I mean, those are when the Libras come out. So
The Libras.
the Libras.
The Libros. Oh my gosh.
I also don't think Libra is August, but
The frat community found astrology and they call themselves the Libros.
the Libros. Ooh. You know what's fun? When I was in college, I got invited to Acca Prom, which is just prom for all the acapella kiddos.
Yes.
And I was not in acapella, but I was friends with the person who was coordinating it. So I was like, oh, yeah, of course I'll go. I wanted to blend in. So I told everyone I was part of this brand new all men acapella group. And we call ourselves the Testostertones. And I only got one of two reactions. Either the acapella person I was saying this to was like, oh, like that's funny. Or they would go, what? I haven't heard of this group. How new are you? Like, what's your range? I'd be like, oh, I was joking. It was a joke. It's not
the
real.
acapella world is very serious.
Cutthroat.
Very serious. Before we became close friends, I actually went to the ICCAs in New York City, which is
I've
like
heard.
the national title because one of my really good friends at the time, Megan Lee, was in a group and they placed, I think, like 2nd or 3rd in the whole world. It was very
Wow.
much perfect fantasy of it all.
That is insane, actually. That is insane.
Yeah.
We have some very talented friends.
We have very talented friends.
Very talented.
Well, so I brought up the off season because I actually wanted to open up this podcast by talking about our favorite childhood vacation.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Oh
I
my
love
goodness.
vacations. I love vacations. Do
Very
you have
fun.
any?
My favorite childhood vacation. That's a great question. Yes, actually. We went on a road trip, our family, through a lot of the major national parks on the West Coast. So we started with Yosemite. By the way,
Must be nice. My family couldn't afford vacations.
I know your family. I've seen the photo albums.
I just can't believe that you're throwing in my face your vacations. The opulent lifestyle that you had growing up.
I see.
Wow.
Audio listeners, it was a setup. It was a trap.
What was the setup? What was a trap?
And I fell for a hook, line, and sinker.
constantly try to relate to you, and you never give me anything to relate to. It's ridiculous.
You're wearing a Swarovski necklace.
Don't bring my necklace into this. Actually, when we moved, this necklace, I thought I had lost it, and I found it in my sunglass bag.
Did you really?
Yes.
I don't know where you bought the necklace.
Yes.
It's like a gift to yourself at
It was
the
like the
time.
first thing the DIVOS ever bought for me.
That's true with all the ones.
With all the ones.
With all the ones.
I walked into the Swarovski with $1 bills and bought Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't want to hear about your family.
I know. We did a road trip up.
Wow.
Okay.
A road trip.
To be fair, as far as vacations go, that's the most like down to earth vacation you can do. A road trip.
Wow.
Am I wrong? You're not flying.
I have no idea. I was working.
Okay. Working in the coal mines, uphill both ways. Yeah, okay. We stopped by Yosemite, which you've been to Yosemite, right? Have you been to Yosemite before?
I don't think so.
Diva, it is beautiful. Like one of those moments where you see it and you almost cry for the first time that you see it.
Really?
It's drop dead gorgeous.
Is that where that hike is? The Half Dome?
Yes, that's where Half Dome is. I did Half Dome a few years ago with some friends. Also just gorgeous. Like, oh my God, the view of the valley is jaw dropping. You should go if you get a chance over the summer, perhaps. It's beautiful. But so our road trip went through that. Then we went up to Yellowstone, and on the way there,
I've been there.
Yes, Yellowstone's also gorgeous. With the biggest letdown though was Old Faithful. It's just like a geyser, which is cool.
You don't like when she blows. You don't like when she just goes for it. She lets it all out.
No, but I as a young kid, I was like, that's it. Like, there's no explosion, just a geyser. Now I'd be like, oh my God, like how does it happen so consistent? Like every 15 minutes, how does that work? In the moment though,
nothing.
I was a young kid. We stopped at a couple of the parks along the way. I think we went through Death Valley. I think we went through Zion, possibly. That might have been too far out of the way.
Did you get the stamps at all the parks that you can get?
Yes. For a while,
fun.
Me, my dad, and my brothers were obsessed with the stamps. It's still...
What are the stamps?
So yes, when you go into national parks, and maybe state parks, I believe, but mostly for national parks, at the ranger station, you can get stamps. And basically, it's just a stamp saying, oh, I went to Yosemite, or I went to Zion. And a lot of collectors will like go to each national park and try and complete their entire stamp book worth of stamps. My dad still has my stamp books from when I was younger and his as well.
That's so cute.
One of my biggest dreams is like before, knock on wood, before my dad goes into the great national park in the sky.
Oh my God. Doug, I think of you as young. I think of you as lively and energetic. I don't think of you as, 2 steps from the grave. Like your son.
We have plenty of time, but I want to take him on a road trip and like complete his stamp book.
Take him. Like he couldn't do it himself. Doug, I'm so sorry. Doug, I am so sorry.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
I'm on one today.
Yes.
Okay, you want to take your dad on a road trip? Adorable.
Isn't that cute?
Yeah.
I think it's adorable. But the stamp books are really, really fun. What was your favorite vacation?
Actually, we loved Bar Harbor. My family drove everywhere. When we drove to visit my mom's family in New Orleans.
You guys had cars. Oh,
bus.
Wow.
Bus. I say drive to relate to people like you, but it was a fucking public bus.
Your family
so
owned the whole bus? Oh my God. Oh my God. To people like you. Wow.
I feel woman today, by the audio listeners. This is an outfit that I styled one day when I was performing at the Bayou at midnight, and I had already been in drag at Snapchat for the day, and I couldn't get back into like a full full costume look. So I was like, I'm gonna be a day walker, and this is how I styled it, and I actually really like it.
A day walker.
Do you remember when a day walker?
Yes.
Do you remember when I walked into your room and was like, is this a drag outfit or am I out of control?
I do remember that. Yeah, I said that's drag, baby, because you're performing gender. There you go.
So true.
There you go.
So Bar Harbor was really fun. My parents loved Bar Harbor as kids. And speaking of
Bar Harbor, where'd you go next? Martha's Vineyard? Calabasas?
Do you even know what Bar Harbor is? Bar Harbor is my local trash site where they dump all the community bars that don't make it because there's no money in our area.
Because so your family bought up all the local bars and all the local restaurants and turned them into Walmarts, into parking lots. That's why there's no trash.
Can I share about my life? Is that all right with you?
No.
So Bar Harbor's in Maine. It's like way far up there. We used to drive everywhere. So we drive to New Orleans, 18 hours. We drive to Bar Harbor, 16 hours. Like my family just loved to drive.
Your family does love to drive.
We just like my dad loves a road trip. Because we're like, I think he likes having all the kids trapped somewhere. Like
where they can't escape.
Like whether or not we're having fun, I don't think he cares. He's just like, we're all together.
That's kind of cute though.
Yeah, but Acadia's up there. Which is a beautiful national park. There's like a little beach up there. There's actually one of my favorite things in the whole world. So in Bar Harbor, there's this island, And during low tide, you can walk out to the island. And during high tide, you can't go to the island.
Whoa.
I know. So I feel like I'm going to get stuck out there, which is would be awesome.
That's really fun, actually. Oh my God.
Yeah.
There was that one castle in France. It's a very similar thing. The road is only
Wow,
open.
so you have a passport.
What's that?
You have a passport?
I do have passports. I know. But you can only drive out there in low tide, and high tide, the roads gets almost covered pretty much.
An island?
Mm-hmm. Well, it's like a castle.
Castle.
Castle kind of islands. It's just it's not an island because technically on low tide it's all connected land. On high tide, it kind of covers the road a little bit. So you can't drive out there.
Wow.
Is that cool?
That's such great military defense.
Yes, indeed. Medieval castles and medieval defense are so cool. Did you know the arrow slits that go like this? They go inward when you're on the inside of the castle, so you have plenty of space. But just a slit on the outside, you can fire an arrow through at invading invaders. Then you pour boiling oil over them as they approach, or you throw rocks and launch a trebuchet. I love it.
So I walked into the living room the other day, and Zach has his VR headset on, and he is slaughtering these amorphous, in early game development, and when we were in middle school, and people were developing cheap little games and putting them out, and then
Very pixelated.
yeah, there was no elbow joints, no knee joints, the face didn't have ears, very, very simple, not even pixelated, just simple. That's who he's slaughtering, and I was like, okay, well, that sounds like it might be fun, but I wonder what the story of the game is. There's no way he's playing a game with no story. It is an infinite loop of these little bodies that he's just slaughtering. He's ripping off their heads. He's throwing their legs into the air. What do you have to say for yourself before we put you in an institution?
It is so much fun. I got a VR headset for Christmas a few years ago. It's just the coolest thing in the world. You don't think VR is going to be as cool as it is, but I got to hold a giant claymore sword and go, whoosh-ah! Just swipe somebody's head off, just like that. And it was awesome. It was so cool. I felt like a badass. I was swinging from ropes and stuff. I had this one little wrist blade. There's just a small little wrist thing I was holding with a thin little blade at the end of it, so I could ching ching stab him. It was awesome. It's so cool.
The only shooting game I've enjoyed, Uncharted.
Ooh, great game.
Yes, which was a Tom Holland reference. They made it into a video game after he did that incredible job in the movie.
As if.
And then I also really love in one of the Call of Duties, there's a mini game called Sticks and Stones, where you only get a crossbow and a ballistic knife and a hatchet. And if you throw the hatchet into someone's back, they go back to 0. And I just love that there weren't real guns. It was just really bitchy, throwing knives and swords and.
Yeah, that is really cool. You'll actually, what you would enjoy if you want to give it a try, on the VR headset, there's this game called Super Hot, and the whole premise is...
I don't need a game for that. I don't need a game to play that.
Wait, you'll like this. Basically, the whole premise is that time only moves when you move. So people shooting bullets at you, but if you don't move, the bullets stay still. You dodge out of the way of bullets and punch me. And and the thing is, they're imagine even more pixelated, even more no face. They're just glowing red human-shaped bodies that you just get to shoot with slow-moving guns and slice with katanas. It's really fun. It's also very not slice and dice actual people,
I've seen you play that game. That game to me is more stylized than the other one.
Oh, the other one is just hack and slash.
That's what scares me about that game.
What, you gonna go hack and slash random people?
No
chance.
That's what John Wick is for.
That is what John Wick is for. Exactly. What's the difference between doing that and watching a movie where John Wick hacks and slashes?
John Wick is saving his dog.
How you know the plot wasn't I was saving my dog? Huh? Or a prince or princess from a castle?
I can't believe you would bring up Trixie like that.
Aww. Trixie was my beautiful golden retriever that passed away 5 years ago, actually. So it's been a while. I'm no longer broken up about it, but dog, I'm sure anyone whose dog has passed can relate. It's really sad when it happens. It's tragic.
Yeah.
She was so cute. She used to do this thing when I would take her on walks. She would get up to the door, and I'd always take her off the leash at the end of the driveway, and she'd run up and get to the door. But of course, she's a dog. She needs me to let her in. So she would turn her head oh.
Oh.
And like look back at me. I have so many pictures of it because it was one of the cutest things that she would do. And I would open the door, then she'd run inside, go lap up some water, and then fall asleep for a little bit.
That's so cute.
It was adorable. I do miss Trixie a lot.
My parents wouldn't let me have a dog growing up, and then as soon as I went to college, a dog appeared. So, and then 100 cats appeared, even though I'm allergic to cats.
I know.
But we only had our dog for 4 years, and then she had to go back to where she came from. She was like a rescue dog, and she was extremely hostile to my dad. My parents wanted to do a rescue dog because they're like good people, but then it didn't. It just like we weren't the right family for her, so she kept snapping and biting, and
that's really tough.
Yeah, it was sad.
Because like you want to help and be there for the dog, but like if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, which is super sad. Well, rescue dogs are so, because you want to do the right thing. It's just so heartbreaking. One, when you get a good rescue and like you foster a dog, but then the dog has to go to the actual home family. You get so attached to this foster dog, or like it just doesn't work out sometimes, which is like so tragic. I think one of the saddest things in the world is when like a family buys a dog and then can't take care of it and has to return it. That's like, oh.
You know what I think one of the saddest things in the world is? When you get Taco Bell and they don't give you your sauce.
Oh God. Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so.
No, but I agree. Sia on her iconic Christmas album, which you have to listen to. Track 3 on this like album with bop after bop. The Snowman song that was big on TikTok. Like, let's go below zero and hide from the sun.
Oh, I love it.
We'll have some fun. Oh, dance at the North Pole and live happily.
The snowman and me. Great.
Anyway,
I love those words.
Bop after bop. It's really good. You should listen to the whole thing. And every year she adds something. It's like the 3 minutes till midnight like version, the 2 minutes till midnight version. Yeah, it's like
that's really fun.
But track 3 is called Puppies Are Forever. And it goes, puppies are forever, not just for Christmas. Puppies are forever. And because she loves animals. So, and it's about like, don't get a dog out for Christmas if you can't handle the dog.
Seriously. Or like, I see people all the time get dogs in like college apartments. And I always wonder, where's the dog? Like
the poor frat dog.
Like you have 13 years left of this dog. Like what are you going to do for 13 years with this dog? I like to think hopefully it just goes home to like one of their families, then goes to an apartment outside of college and whatnot. But
yeah, gets an education.
I know, it gets his doctorate.
Yeah,
his doctorate. It's Pup HD.
But the frat dogs, I think that's so because they're doing it so the girls come over. And like obviously, I mean, it's a lot of people. You like to think some of them are taking care of the dog, but like, I don't know.
I actually think frat dogs are pretty well loved. To be honest with you,
but do you think that's a safe environment for a dog?
No, I mean, depends on the frat. Depends on what they're doing. To be fair, I haven't really seen many frat dogs in person. I'm actually not sure if I've ever seen a frat dog in person. But I think they put the dog in a room during parties, so it's like not running around. You know, taking care of it, walking it, watering it. And I'm sure outside of parties, I'm sure it's very, very well loved. You know,
I hope so.
Yeah, I hope so too.
I don't think I've told this story on the pod. The one pet we had growing up. My mom is from New Orleans, and she loves crawfish. So hi, crawfish. Crawfish, come on in.
Crawfish, come on in.
Crawfish, it's really good to see you, crawfish.
Crawfish? I hardly know-ish.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, it wasn't my best.
I don't know. I kind of like it. We got a crawfish, a whole bag of crawfish shipped up to Virginia for her 40th birthday. And we were about to like boil the crawfish, have a little crawfish boil. And we were like, wait a second. And we saw a little turtle in the bag of crawfish. So we saved him. We named him Craw after the crawfish. And that was the only pet. He's still with us too.
He's still alive?
They live forever, those turtles. He's a Mississippi mud turtle.
Have I seen this turtle before?
You've never been to my house, so.
That's true, I haven't in your house.
Yeah. I take videos every time I'm home. He's really cute. I don't know if he recognizes me or he wants food, but he doesn't come out for like almost anyone else, but he'll like come up and like scratch at the tank when I'm there.
Oh, that's super cute. Do turtles recognize people? Do they have like object permanence?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Maybe they recognize the vibe.
The vibe.
My high faggy voice.
He goes, oh, that means food. That's crazy. If he does recognize you, I did not know that turtles have that kind of like cognizance with them. At the San Diego Zoo, they have like 2 or 3 Galapagos turtles that are literally like 120 years old.
Wow.
Like they have lived so many more years than me. Like it's just crazy to see an animal live that long and know it's gonna live like another at least 100 years or so.
You've seen it live all that time?
Well, no. I'm only 24.
I'm only a 24-year-old girl.
I'm only a 24-year-old girl. I don't know anything.
I don't know if that's bit of the week worthy, but we did have a little moment where we were like, well, I'm just a teenage girl. Like, what do you want?
I'm just a little girl.
I'm just a little girl. What do you want me to do?
I'm just a little girl. I can't do anything.
You want me to do my homework, but I'm just a little girl.
Pay my bills. I'm just a little girl. I don't know how to do that. All right, it's time for my favorite section of the week, the bit of the week.
Yeah.
This is one that I do a lot with our other roommate, Megan Lee. We do it a lot. I'll just show you in practice. Like, oh gosh, I don't think I want a podcast today. Like, oh gosh, no, I can't hang out. And I'll do the camera one. Oh gosh, it's like, I don't know. I don't think I want to drink tonight. You give me the old side eye. It's really, really fun and goofy.
It's always yeah, and because it means you're on the same page.
Exactly.
You know that you're both like we're acting a fool right now.
Or acting a fool. No. I don't want a steak right now. Bad example, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
You get the gist.
Yeah.
It's really fun and silly.
I don't want to go get a Slurpee at 7-Eleven.
I didn't know where to look for my side eye. Fucking crazy. This is hilarious. So Trump got convicted today for his crimes, for his felonies.
34.
34. I don't think we should get into Trump on the podcast. We're a fun space.
Okay.
Yes. One of the fun part though, the judge is giving his sentence on July 11th, which also happens to be Free Slurpee Day at 7-Eleven. So if you want to go home, you can watch Trump's conviction and his sentencing
with a free Slurpee. This episode probably came out after that, but I hope that you celebrated with a free Slurpee.
I hope you celebrate with a free Slurpee, yeah.
I wonder, so this episode we're filming this one a little bit early because I needed to get this look out of the way. I wonder, what's going to happen when this episode goes out with Mr. Donald.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to get jail time or anything. Probably just probations or fines.
But he is supposed to be one of the two candidates for the president of our country.
Oh, it's sad. It's sad. It sparks no joy and little hope.
I can't stop doing the Say So TikTok dance randomly.
The bunches that you roll with. That's all I know.
What happened to TikTok dances?
They still do them all the time.
Do you think they're really going to ban TikTok?
I don't know. I have no idea. It's whack that it's owned by a foreign company, but so are so many other ones. I don't know. Have you seen that one video of the kid that goes, "So you're trying to ban TikTok? Well, we're the strongest generation. And we will stand up. And fight for our rights." It's like this skinny ass 13-year-old kid.
Love.
Standing up against the big governments to keep TikTok.
I love when any kid has a big personality and is not afraid to show it. I don't care what they're doing.
It's
as long as they're not hurting someone or being mean. I'm like, do it.
Do your thing, yeah.
Be cringy, be ridiculous, say something stupid.
Because cringy, years on the road, is so fun to look back on.
Hilarious.
It's so fun to look back on. I agree. You might get bullied a little bit at school in the moment, but who cares? If I could go back in time, I'd be a menace. You
think you were? I wouldn't have a sense of humor if I hadn't been bullied, so thank God.
I know. Shut up, numbnuts. Poindexter.
There were so many moments in high school mostly middle school actually, where something happened to me and I was like, next time this happens, oh my God, I'm gonna let him have it. For some reason, every time I got to the point where I was like, I need to let him have it next time. It never happened again.
Never happened again?
Yeah.
That's happened to me before as well.
Yeah.
The cosmic scales of the universe, I guess.
One of my friends thought it was funny to slam me in the lockers, but I don't think that was funny.
Did they put you in a locker?
Not in a locker, but slam me really hard against the locker. Push me into a locker.
Yeah, I don't really like that whole slapstick comedy kind of stuff.
I didn't think it was funny.
It's not funny at all.
I didn't think it was funny.
One time I asked my friends to lock me in a band locker.
And he's still there.
I know.
Yeah.
It's funny. They got in trouble for it with the teacher. It was my idea.
You're I don't know what happened.
I'm just a widow band student.
I'm just a little girl.
I'm just a little trumpet player. I'm so sorry.
Beep, 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 beep.
Beep, beep. No, I was a little shit growing up. One time I got in the only time I really went to the principal's office, past like third grade or whatever, I got in a fight with a kid because I was being annoying. I was like stealing his Gatorade. I was like, hee. So we got in a fight. He put me in a headlock. I was like kind of punching him in the family jewels. And then it got broken up. And I was an ASB. So like the ASB teacher happened to be in the office.
What is ASB?
What does it stand for? Associated Student Body?
It's like student government.
Yeah, basically it was like student government, but it was in middle school. So like we really didn't do anything. It was just like
It's like a class,
filmed.
right?
Yeah, it was a class that we did during the day. On Wave Live, the TV show that we would do every Friday, ASB was the one that like put it on and made the content and whatnot. In hindsight, very low stakes. Nothing really happened. But anyways, that the ASB teacher like was in the office. So I was sitting there. She's like, "Oh my God, Zach! Like, what happened?" I kind of teared up a little bit. I'm like, "I don't know. Like, we got in a fight." It was, I remember I was a little flustered. She was like, let me go talk to somebody. And then she went and like talked me out of getting any punishment whatsoever. And I think the other guy might have been suspended fucking day.
Oh my God. Pays to know people. Look at me saying.
That might be an exaggeration for storytelling elements. I actually don't think he was suspended at all. He might have just been like a slap on the wrists.
One of the only times I got in trouble was my guidance counselor in like 5th grade. We were like waiting for the bus. And this kid, Albert, was like, first of all, Albert, that name. Albert's like,
come on, Albert.
Albert's a name. And he was saying something annoying. So I was like, stop it, Albert. And my guidance counselor storms up to me and he goes, "What did you just say?" I said, "Stop it, Albert." And he goes, "You told him to shut his trap hole." I was like, "Shut your trap hole?" I've never even heard of that. I was like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, "That we're going to have to talk tomorrow. Like, we're going to have to talk." I was like, "What? Literally, what are you talking about? Shut your trap hole?"
Shut your trap hole?
I was like, what kid is going to say that? Like, and so I like went home and like prepared my whole monologue for I've never in my life heard of that word. I've never in my life heard that phrase. I could never even combine those words in my wildest dreams. I'm not that creative. I'm not that mean. I'm not that cruel. And it never got brought up again.
No, I can't. Shut your trap hole.
Shut your trap hole, Albert.
I hope you say that next time, though, because that's pretty funny.
Shut your trap hole.
Shut your trap hole.
I think it's like an old-time phrase for shut up.
I think it is. But also, like, in terms of the harmful things you could have said, shut your trap hole's not that mean on the spectrum of mean things that you could say.
It's just drag Albert.
Like, my God.
Not even, it was Mr. Herondine.
Mr. Herondine?
Mr. Herondine.
One time when I was in middle school, we were doing like the American Revolution, and we were trying to come up with slogans to like slander the like John Jay or like slander George Washington, like as though we're opposing political parties. And the one I came up with in class was, "Hey, John Jay is gay, ha ha ha." And then my teacher was like, "Hey, like see me after class." I was like, "Ooh." It was very embarrassing for me. I took myself to detention, and so like a whole thing in detention. Next class, my teacher's like, "Hey, like where were you?" I was like, "Oh, I went to detention." He said, "Oh no, I just wanted you to talk." Then he talked me through. It was like, "Hey, like I didn't mean anything by it. Like that was like you should say that." That's
cut the podcast. You are the problem. You are using gay with a negative connotation to try to tear people down.
I know. I was the problem. This is true. This is me being vulnerable here. Luckily, I had a great teacher that pulled me aside and taught me the importance of my words. Mm-hmm. And I'm better for it.
I think I need a moment to myself. You think you know a person. You think you know a person, and then all of a sudden they go up on the podcast that you share in the home that you built brick by brick. And they reveal to you that they are nothing but a sham and a ruse and a natural blonde.
One of those things is true. And I'm not a natural blonde. Go, come on now.
That's a funny bit you do too sometimes. Tell people you're not a natural blonde.
I do. But did you appreciate my vulnerability? And you see my growth throughout my life?
I see your growth. But it's going to take some time.
Okay. I'm What
do you have
here.
to say to camera 2?
I'm so sorry, camera 2.
Why?
I use gay derogatorily.
Why?
I feel like that's the crux of it. I'm not sure if there's anything more than that.
What is the meaning of the work as a whole? What did you perpetuate?
I perpetuated.
What did you learn?
Homophobia. And I learned to not perpetuate homophobia.
I I'm really into Twitter right now where people will end something. I just got a comment on Snapchat. Well, they'll say a comment that's like a little vague and they'll put in parentheses like derogatory or compliment. So like, oh God, what's an example? It's like the one I got on Snapchat today was like, you kind of look like that witch from whatever TV show. Compliment. Like to let me know that it's like a positive and it's not like a read. Yeah.
That is really funny. Like, so another great bit I do, when I was pledging for my frats, one of the things you had to do was like interview the actives, just like get a 15-minute thing, ask them a bunch of questions, and they would ask you to do a task for you, or for them, pardon me. Sometimes it's just like, drop off my laundry, or like, get me a bowl of cereal. It was like in the last week, I hope I'm not like outing Linda, but the guy was like, oh, like, hey, dye your hair black. And I was like, okay, like, oh, seriously? Like, you don't have to do that. Like, it's fine. Like, I'll make you something else. I'm like, no, like, hey, honestly, that's kind of funny. Like, I'll dye my hair black for pledging. It was consensual. I was okay with it. So I dyed my hair black.
Zach was in complete belief that the hair would go back to blonde in 1 week.
I did. Well, the box said like 1 to 2 weeks tops. I got the shortest one. It lasted for like 9 months. It was my hair for so long, and I did not look. I respect anyone with dark hair. It's not for me. I'm a blonde through and through. It matches my personality. I didn't. It will pop up a picture perhaps of myself in black hair. Did not look good.
I liked it. It was just different.
It was.
So you admit that Greek life harassed you on camera in front of all of our friends, all of our fans.
It was consensual,
Wow.
but also, frankly, I wanted to be hazed more. To be honest with you,
Really?
It was super light. There was like obviously there's no drinking hazing, which like I think drinking hazing is so stupid. Like it's dangerous. It's uncouth. And it's dumb. But like there's no funny hazing. I have to count and sort Fruit Loops in the dark, you know? Like that's funny.
It's hilarious.
It's hilarious. It hurts nobody. Helps everybody. Helps the economy.
I have a really funny example of funny hazing. Should I say it or just give no details? Okay, so I have a person in my life. I'm gonna give as little details as possible because I don't want this person to get mad at me for sharing the story, or I don't want whatever. But there is a university that has a type of hazing where they tell like the pledges where they're like, okay, like at the end of like the semester, like you are going to have to put your hand in a cow. Like put your hand in the butt of a cow.
Oh, ew.
And then like the whole semester they're like, yeah, you're gonna have to like put your hand in the butt of a cow. Like you have to do that. And they're like, no way. And then the last day they blindfold them all, they walk them, they make like this gross concoction of like thick gelatinous, like whatever. And they have these kids convince themselves that they're putting their hand into a cow.
Ew.
What? I thought that's the kind of funny hazing that you wanted. I thought I was just sharing an example.
No, that is fun. That's just gross too. That's crazy. Oy vey.
Well, I mean, to go to a DIVOS show, you have to come up and you have to slap me across the face and call me a dirty little girl.
Well, I'm prepared to see rectum at every DIVOS show. It hasn't happened yet, but I've been prepared every time. I've been rearing and ready to go.
Wait, can I say something fun about this wig?
Yes.
This is the first wig I ever bought.
Is it really?
In like 2019.
It looks so styled though.
And so my friend Looney, hi Looney, I asked her to come over because she's really talented at styling and I don't have time or the patience for it. And I gave her a bunch of my old wigs. I was like, do you think you could salvage this at all? And this is what she came up with it.
It looks fantastic.
I think it's so fun. It's very DIVOS. I'm very into the volume at the top, a little bit of party in the back, and focus on the face with a little side pullback.
Focus on the face. Oh, I do like the focus on the face. It brings it down.
But I mean, I feel like this has been a little bit of a manic episode, but I think that our outfits call for that. A blue collar story, you never know what you're going to get.
I mean, come on now. It's the color of tranquility and of confidence.
And we gave you the opposite.
Well, it's Libra season. Do you have to educate the straights?
Yes, it's time to educate the straight. So I had this kid in one of my classes, and one time we were doing this, like, it was in history. What?
No, sorry, keep going.
One time we were in history, and the assignment was to, like, it was like a presidential thing, so it was like to make a slogan about how you could slander the other president to try to get your president to win. And he chose to say, like, was it John Adams? Something. It was like one of those presidents, and he was like, he is gay. Derogatory, in parentheses. And that always stuck with him because it was like, how could you, like, that's the ultimate insult, is gay. And I was like, wow, that's, it didn't help. And so I just think that, I like to think about moments like that really affected me.
Well, how'd you react with the students?
How did I react?
Yeah.
I took a pencil, and I put it on the table. I said, "Why so serious?" And I slammed his head into the table. He's no longer with us.
May he rest in hell.
May he rest in hell. Oh gosh, I don't have an educate this straight for today. I jest, I tease. Everyone makes mistakes. That's my educate this straight. It's okay to forgive, to forget, to move on, to prosper, to evolve, to end up on a podcast with your best friend that's a drag queen, and reflect.
I think it's impossible to say that I've stayed in that mentality. Good.
Now it's time to move on to the Twink Twank Twunk of the week. Yeah.
Week.
Do you have any?
I do actually. My twink of the week, unevolved Pokemon. Level 1 Pokemon. Base 1.
Basic.
I mean, come on. Squirtle, Bulbasaur, Torchic. So cute. So twink.
Yeah.
So twink.
Devin before the DIVOS transformation. Twink.
So twink.
Twink down.
Twink down.
Twink down, down.
Down.
Twink down to the ground, down to the ground. Twink on the ground, twink on the ground. Twink in a position, twink on the ground.
Twink on the ground.
What do you think the Twinkies basic Pokemon is? And why is it Togepi?
Chingling.
Chingling. Clever. The baby Pokemon are pretty twink.
Yeah, very, very, very twink.
My twink of the week is sunsets.
Yes.
Sunsets are so twink. It's a moment to reflect, to relax, to decompress in extreme beauty, and anyone can do it anywhere, which, I mean, anyone can do a twink anywhere.
All right. Kind of in the same vein, my twink, sunrises.
Oh.
Because you have to be something crazy to watch a sunrise.
True.
No. What was the last sunrise you watched?
Not on purpose.
I know. the day before the podcast comes out.
No, literally, I was probably editing the podcast. Yeah.
But like nobody, it's so much effort to watch a sunrise on purpose. Like I'm sorry, it really is.
And you always regret it.
Like, you always regret
even
it.
if you're like, oh my gosh, this will be so fun and memorable. Like maybe it was
know.
kind of fun, and like in a year you think of it as memorable, but like you
not
don't-
in the moment.
not in the moment, not for that week, not for that month.
You know what's so sad? For like a 2-month stretch when I was working my job, I would watch the sunrise every morning when I got to work, like out the window. Yeah. Isn't that crazy? Shock.
I watched the sunrise getting home from the club after my job.
Okay.
Okay, my twink of the week is the camel toe. It's if there's the derogatory twink, this is the
good.
positive twink.
That's good.
I love a camel toe. This is one of the DIVOS camel toe outfits.
Oh.
I'm not going to go into too much detail to keep the illusion, but let's just say that certain parts of my body react in certain types of ways to garments, and I'm not afraid to show who I am.
Be strong. Be best. DIVOS, be best.
What do you think? Is it a camel toe for the drag queen, or is it like a rhinoceros foot?
I would call it a camel toe.
What do you think?
Rhinoceros foot. Ah! More like an elephant foot. Oh, go on out.
Okay, change the topic.
Okay. My twunk of the week, pregnancy.
Wow.
Because it takes girth. It takes gumption to be pregnant.
This is your second option for a reproductive activity for Twunk this season on the podcast.
Oh yeah, it is.
After your the great amniotic fluid incident.
The amoebo fluid.
Yeah, the embryonic fluid, whatever you said.
Yeah. It's so twunk. You're given life.
My twunk is kidney stone. I'm scared for my life for a kidney stone. You know you have to piss them out. I don't know if I'd survive the experience. I'm really hoping it doesn't happen to me. It's not something that I think is in my narrative, in my fantasy. I don't think it would further the plot much for me personally.
Ugh.
So I'm going to go ahead and boot that one. But
kidney stones are terrifying. So terrifying.
Similar vein, catheters. Double twunk. Anything that's inserted or exiting your urinary tract that's a pasta
Inorganic.
liquid the kidney stone's organic. It's like a little pearl.
Yeah, but is that considered organic?
I'm gonna redact this. There was something on Twitter. The bottoms be like, put your my boyfriend ejaculated in kidney stone. I'm gonna keep it in there like I'm a little mother of pearl.
Ew! Oh god!
Don't go on gay Twitter, Summer. Don't go on gay Twitter.
God.
Don't go on gay Twitter.
Ew!
It's between me and you.
Oh god! That was our Twink Twank Twunk of the week. Thank you all so much for watching.
Wait, before we end the pod. One of my favorite YouTubers growing up was named Mommy Tang. She only did vegan mukbang. She had 4 kids and somehow did a vegan mukbang every day. She blew up for a while and then petered off. But she did something like this where she was like, and it was her shouting out her silent viewers that don't comment, that don't do anything, but just watch from home and enjoy it. So, audio listeners, this is my little son. What I did is I pointed at my eyes, pointed to the camera, and did a little love heart, which was her version of saying hi. And just know this is my version of saying that I love you.
Devin loved you everywhere.
Let's end the pod before I do anything else.
Thank you so much
you
for watching, everybody. Yay!